What's up, everybody? We testing 1, 2, 3. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hold on one second. I just need to Let's move over here real quick. How are we looking over here? So yeah, we're good. All right, so we are live again. So welcome back to Alpha Esports and Technology, Alpha Cybersecurity's joint stream of the Appsec Rabbit Hole training that we're doing. Today's stream, we're going to it's probably going to be another short one because we're going to focus. Actually, no, we might go a little bit. We might go a little bit longer. We're going to focus on JavaScript basics today. So we're jumping. Remember, we finished up web application basics where we touched on a little bit of JavaScript, but we're going to be moving into the next part of our. Let me just put it here so y'all can see it. We're going to be moving into the next part of our web hacking section where we'll do JavaScript essentials, and then let's see where we are on time, and maybe we'll also try to get some SQL fundamentals in. Just wrapped up my esports practice. So forgive me. I'm kind of scrambling a little bit. I'm also trying to finish up my my summer camp registration forms. So I'm a little all over the place. So just bear with me. But you know, like I said, I want to make sure we get everything done the right way. So let's go ahead and go here. Let's paste this in here. All right, so I'm almost. Just give me one more second so we can do this. So we're gonna save this here, and then we're gonna copy this. No, stop that! Stop that! Stop that! Stop that! You know, when you want to get to a good save point, that's essentially what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to get to trying to save this link. So it's a little hectic. You know, creating interesting. Where did it go? Okay. So we're creating, like I said, getting our summer camp stuff ready. What's going on, sir? What's going on, Lou? Trying to get our summer camp stuff ready. So actually, hold on. So it's been it's been a wild week. It's been a wild week. So it's Wednesday. I think we talked about the other day. You know, I mentioned Monday that am no longer with eSecurity Planet. More on that later, but and that I will be creating some stuff about what's next. What I will say is the aftermath or fallout, if you would say, from that has been very interesting and quite telling. It's been what, 2 days? Because I mean, I left Monday and kind of shared my thoughts with with them directly as to what the situation was and everything, and wish everybody there the best. But you sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and that's exactly what I did. I did what I had to do. I actually, it's crazy because I've kind of been down this path before, but I'm not worried about it. I'm actually somewhat relieved, even. When you see a situation where people might be taking you for granted, or people might be, as I like to call it, playing with you in your face. There's no better remedy to that than to have options. I know in today's economy and things like that, having options is rough. Trust me, I know, especially coming from the last couple of years of what we've been doing. But that's why we're here with the Appsec Rabbit Hole, so that if you're interested in following along and learning about application security, that hopefully it will, provide options for you. Ty, what's going on? How's your bug bounty? How's your bug bounty training going? So we, everybody who comes on here, whether you're following along with this or whether you shared your whatever it is you're working on, let's hold each other accountable, right? Y'all are holding me accountable to make sure I'm streaming here and I'm sharing this information. Like I said, I wasn't able to get on yesterday. Like I said, we have a lot of groups who come in. Like I said, we had a young group come in yesterday, about 20 kids. So I'm not going to lie. By the time they left at 7 o'clock, your boy was exhausted. So I wasn't able to get on stream last night. But like I said, I'm here now. It's 6:35, and we are going to get things rolling. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure I saved everything because being a solo entrepreneur, man, it has its highs when it works, but when it doesn't, boy, it's rough. And this is definitely one of them rough times trying to get everything ready, trying to figure out the summer camp schedule, coordinating with, making sure that when kids get out of school and figuring out what camps are what, when to do which camps. But let me know in the chat if you're interested in hearing about the camps that we're running. We finally figured out the roster. There's gonna be some esports stuff, but there's also going to be a lot of STEM. We're going to focus on a lot of STEM things. We're actually going to be doing a drone camp where the plan is that by the end of the camp they'll all have their FAA Trust certification to be recreational flyers. They'll learn about drone safety. They'll learn about before you fly and how to check to make sure all of that is good. We'll also be doing some stuff with AI, obviously. So we got a week that's focused on different AI projects, from art to doing training models and things like that. So got some cool stuff with that. Got a really cool coding course where we're going to be doing some coding with, and we're actually going to be coding with popular video games. So we got some stuff around that. Obviously, we're going to have our cyber safety, and those are just to name a few. Like I said, we got all summer. So hold on. So Ty says, a bit slow while reading Vicky Lee's book. I got to the sequel chapter, read there, and started reading 3 chapters related to SQL in this book: SQL injection, attack, and defense. Man, look, I sometimes it's best to just kind of stick with what you're looking at that moment. I get you want to go back and reference and to get a better understanding. But sometimes a simple, YouTube dive will help, because you jump into another book, and then you jump in, and then sometimes it takes you a second to get back. So JavaScript. So let's hop in. All right. So again, if y'all want to chat it up, just let me know in the comments what you want to talk about. We'll probably go, like I said, at 6:30. Honestly, we'll see. We'll probably go to about 8 o'clock. Might go a little bit later, but and then what I'll probably end up doing is raiding over to my homeboy, the Blurred Gamer, who I believe is streaming tonight. So he's been doing a lot of Monster Hunter and Marvel Rivals. So just to do and just to give a heads up, the new Assassin's Creed is coming out, and I totally intend on playing that. I have been screaming for an Assassin's Creed that took place in feudal Japan. Those who know me know I absolutely, like, the only thing that I probably enjoy more than comic books is like samurai and ninja lore and feudal Japan. And like, I still play Total War Shogun 2, which I'm furious that they haven't made a Total War Shogun 3. But so I'm told, like, the strategies, everything, like, I absolutely like love feudal Japan. And then to have Yasuke in there, and I know everybody's like, oh my god, it's a black samurai. Like, it is historically accurate. So if you don't like it, kick rocks. And that's all I have to say about that. So I totally will be tuning in and either watching that when I can't stream, but I totally intend on taking a break from everything else, and I'll probably go back and forth between that and Marvel Rivals, and then whatever it is I'm working on with the rabbit hole. All right, so let me stop yapping. Thanks for the nugget of advice. Okay, and then I have to do that. Yeah, man, like I said, sometimes it's best to just get that done and then go back. Like, I used to do the same thing. All right, so JavaScript. So remember, we talked about HTML, which is basically the coding language for web applications or websites, and then CSS, which goes with HTML for certain things, and then you have JavaScript. And JavaScript is kind of thing allows your website or your web application to have interactive features, right? Have interactive things that allows you to, so when things pop up on the screen, when like that's all usually done in JavaScript. So we're going to kind of go into that. All right, so let's go and stick with what Try Hackney says. So the introduction: JavaScript's popular scripting language that allows web developers to add interactive features to websites containing HTML and CSS for styling. Once the HTML elements are created, you can add interactiveness like validation, on-click actions, animations, etc. through JavaScript. Okay, so learning the language is equally important as that of HTML and CSS, and JavaScript scripts are primarily used with HTML. Okay, so this is So again, we talked about this, and it says the room prerequisites were Linux fundamentals, web application basics, and how websites work, which we did cover all of that. And then it says we're going to learn about understanding the basics of JavaScript, and we're going to integrate JavaScript into HTML. We're going to abuse the dialog function. We're going to try to bypass some control flow statements, and we're going to explore minified files. All right, so our box is starting up. I didn't get that started up before stream because, like I said, I wrapped up my esports practice, loaded up everything for streaming, and threw it on. And just in case you are wondering where we are streaming from, we are streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook. So we're streaming from the Alpha Cybersecurity and Alpha Esports and Technology YouTube and Twitch channels. So that's four different channels there. And we're streaming from Facebook, and then we're streaming from my personal LinkedIn account. So wherever it is you're watching, I truly appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with us and getting into the Appsec world. All right, so it says when the machine starts, there is going to be a folder called exercise, and that is where we're going to have, if you find it difficult to create the scripts yourself, you can also use the provided ones. Okay, so we're going to try to create our scripts. We're going to try to create our scripts. We don't want to we don't want to have to rely on help, right? Best way to get the experience is through the hands-on experience. Lou, if you still here, I finally have an appointment. I'm going to get that done this Friday. It's weird sometimes the things you see just whatever. All right. So we talked about all of this. We covered all this. All right. So essential. So the essential concepts. So let's just move this over a little bit. So when dealing with JavaScript, you'll have variables. So if you know about anything about coding, it's very similar. The syntax is a little different, but the at its core, it's very similar, right? So just like coding languages like Python or you have variables. Okay, so variables allow you to store data in the variable, right? So you can store certain data values. So for example, you can create a variable, call it Davin, and then give it a value of like 120, right? So anytime you call for that variable knows that the value is 120, and then 120 would be put in there. All right, so that's essentially what variables are. All right, so it says variables are containers that allow you to store data values in them. Like any other language, variables in JavaScript are similar to containers to store data. When you store something in a bucket, you also need to label it so that it can be referenced later on easily. Similarly, in JavaScript, each variable has a name. When we store a certain value in a variable, we assign a name to it and reference it later. There are three ways to declare variables in JavaScript. There's the var, there's let, and construct, or is it construct? I don't know. But whatever. While var is function scoped, both let and construct are block scope, offering better control over variable visibility within specific code blocks. So data types in JavaScript, data types define the type of value a variable can hold. Example: string, which is text, so those are just words. You can do numbers, and then you can do booleans, and booleans are like true and false. You can also do null, undefined, and object for more complex data like arrays or objects. Okay, in JavaScript, you also have functions. Functions represent a block of code designed to perform a specific task. Inside a function, you can group code that needs to perform a similar task. For example, if you're developing a web application in which you need to print students' results on the web page, an ideal case would be to create a function that says print results roll numbers that would accept the roll number of the student of the user as an argument. So here you see you have your script brackets. So again, this is here, and then you have the function, and then your function is called print result roll number, and then in the brackets you see you'll get an alert username with roll number plus the roll number that's going to be up here has passed the exam. Okay, then it says, then you see here for, and then in the parentheses for let I equals 0 or I equals less than 100, and then it iterates. So basically so you have I here, so I would be the number, okay, and then you would and then when you're done you would close that up. So instead of writing the same print code for all students, we'll use a simple function to print the result. Okay, loops will allow you to run the code multiple times as long as the condition is set to true. So basically, like if you have 20 students, and using this example, you don't want to have to keep running this function over and over again. Instead, you can create a loop, which is exactly what you see here. Right, so let I equal 0, I less than 100, but then that I plus plus means it iterates or goes up, and then it'll print the results. It'll print that roll number, and you see here in the comments it says this will be called this. So then this function will be called 100 times. Okay, then you have your request response cycle. In web development, the request response cycle is when a user's browser or the client sends a request to the web server, and then the server responds with the requested information. This could be a web page, data, or other resources. And then it gives us a link. Let's see if we follow the link. When you follow the link, go here, and it goes into the how websites work, which we covered earlier. All right, so let's just come back and we'll share this back. All right, so what's the term that allows you to run a code multiple times as long as it meets the condition? That's a loop. Okay. All right, so now we have another task. So this is for JavaScript, and this task will use JavaScript to create our first program. JavaScript is an interpreted language, meaning the code is executed directly in the browser without prior compilation. Below is an example JavaScript code demonstrating key concepts, such as defining a variable, understanding the data types, and using control flow statements, and writing simple functions. These essential building blocks help create more dynamic and interactive web apps. Don't worry if it looks a bit new now. We'll discuss in detail, okay? So here you have your hello world. So you have your console log, and then you have your variable. So let age equals 25. So remember, let is a variable. You can use let for a variable, and then the age is 25. And then you have a flow statement, which is basically an if else statement. So if the age is greater than or equal to 18, you'll say you're an adult. If you're less than 18, you're a minor. And then after that, it'll tell you there's a function for greet, and then here's the name. And then it will say hello plus name. So here you're going to probably have to input your name. Okay. So then it's calling the function, and then the function's called greet. And then it says Bob. Okay. So let's go ahead. And it says JavaScript is primarily used on the client side, which makes it easy to inspect with HTML. So we're going to use the JavaScript console in Google Chrome. So let's go ahead and minimize this, and let's bring up Google Chrome. And then when Google Chrome comes up, we're going to go ahead and hit inspect element. Whenever it loads. There it goes. Okay, so we're just going to go here, and we're going to tools. Oh, those are our dev tools. Come on. Will it actually let us do Control-Shift-I in here? Nope, that's a bookmark. Okay, now here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So we go to console, and we have our console here. All right, so now it says we're going to create a simple JavaScript program that adds two numbers. So it says let x equal x, and then we have to space it out, equals 5, and then we have to give it a semicolon. And then we're going to also do let y equal 10. And then we're going to do another semicolon. And then we're going to do one more called let result equal x plus y colon, and then we're going to read it out, say console.log, put some parentheses in here, and we're going to give it a quote, say the result is colon, and then give it a space. Whoa, that's too many spaces. Space. And then we're going to close off our quote. And then we want to make sure we give it the result. Say plus result. Okay. So basically what we're saying is x equals 5, y equals 10. And then the result will say x, which is 5, plus y, that equals 10. And then after that, we're gonna have it give us a sentence that says the result is, and then it's gonna read it's gonna read off from the result. Actually, we need to close that. There we go. So basically, it's gonna tell us the answer of 5 plus 10. All right. So now all we have to do is hit enter, and you'll see it says the result is 15. All right. So that is our first JavaScript program. Okay. Now it says, what is the code output if the x is changed to 10? So if we just come back up here, so we'll just say let x equal 10, right? Actually, let's not do that. Let's fine. Let's go ahead and clear the whole console, and let's just do it again. So let x equal, and I mean, we already know what it's going to be, but let y equal 10, colon, semicolon, let result equal x plus y, semicolon, and then again console.log with parentheses. We'll come back in, give us our quotation marks, and then the result is, put a space here, and then we're going to go ahead and plus result, and then we're going to give that a semicolon, and then we hit enter. The result will be 20, which I mean, we would know that anyway because math, but mm, sorry about that. Didn't want to be rude, but had to get a message again. Shout out to everybody who you know has been sending um, love and support. Like I said, I'm good. Um, I'm good. Like I said, I'm at peace with the with the decision to leave. Oh, and JavaScript is interpreted, not compiled. But like I said, I'm good with the decision. But again, it's just it's crazy because you take something and you want to make it your own. And like I said, that channel essentially was like it they own it, but it was my channel. And like I said, it's sad that we grew it to generate what it generated, and um, have to and then having to walk away from it. But like I said, I'm not in the business of letting anybody you know play in my face. Pause. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. Like I said, so again, so in the next task, we're going to integrate JavaScript into HTML. So this task assumes you have a basic understanding of HTML and its structure. The section will explore how JavaScript can be integrated into HTML. Usually, JavaScript is not used to render content. It works with HTML and CSS to create dynamic and interactive web pages. If you're unfamiliar with HTML, reviewing it through this link, which we've already done that, but there are two ways to integrate JavaScript into HTML. There's internal and external. So when you do internal, you're embedding your JavaScript code directly into the HTML document. So this is preferable for beginners because it allows them to see exactly how the script interacts with HTML. So so yeah, where are we? So the script inserted between the script tags of the HTML can be placed inside the header section, and that's typically used for scripts that need to be loaded before the page is rendered or inside the body section. So in this case, they want us to use, which one are we opening? We're gonna use the internal. So we'll go to exercise and then internal.html, and we're going to open with Pluma, which is their text editor. And then once the editor is open, we're going to paste the following code, which we've already done. You already see the HTML. So language English, you have your header. This is internal JavaScript. And then it's going to say the addition of two numbers. And then this is basically a paragraph. So the ID is going to be result. And then we're running basically the same script. So remember, let X equal 5, let Y equal 10. and then let the result be the result of X plus Y. And then it says document get element. So so now it's saying get element by ID. So remember, we created this variable. We didn't, but this up here, the ID equals result, was done in this paragraph tag. So what happened here was a variable was given a variable ID. It was given a variable name of ID, and the value of that variable is result. So now we're telling X to equal 5, Y to equal 10, and then the result is going to be 5 plus 10. And then document, and then we're saying get element by ID. So what's going to happen here is when it wants to get the result, it's going to call for this. And it's going to be inside the inner HTML. So then it's going to say the result is, and it's going to give you the X plus Y, right? Okay. So now, if we go ahead and save this, I mean, like I said, we didn't have to do anything to it. So we honestly shouldn't have to save it. But then we'll just double click it now. So now when we double click it, since it's an HTML file, you'll see everything that we just talked about. So let's go ahead and inspect the element again so you can see it. So first we're telling that it's HTML. So you're not going to see that. But then you have your header, right? Your header, the title of it is called internal JavaScript, which is what you see here, right? In this title right here in the tab. So we can close that now. So now in the body, which is right here, your body has another header. That's what these H1 tags are. And it says addition of 2 numbers. So that's here. And again, like I said, as you inspect the element, as you go over it, you'll see it actually highlights it. Then it says it'll say the result is 15. And now what happened was it says the result is, and then it called for the result down here. This one for this variable. So the script ran in this HTML document. It did the equation, and then it said what's the result, and then that result ID gets read out here, and then it does that by this get element by ID code. Okay. So let's just go ahead and read it. In this HTML document, we are using internal JavaScript, meaning the code is placed directly inside the HTML file with the script tag. The script performs a simple task. It adds the 2 numbers, X and Y, and then displays the results on the page. The JavaScript interacts with the HTML by selecting an element, which was that P tag, the paragraph, with ID equals result, and then updating the content using document get element ID result in the inner HTML. Appreciate it. All right. Now, external JavaScript. So let's go ahead and close this out, and we'll close this out. So now we'll bring up external JavaScript, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to open with Pluma so we can see what's going on here. So external JavaScript involves creating and storing JavaScript code in a separate file that ends with a .js file extension. This method helps developers keep the HTML document clean and organized. The external JavaScript file can be stored or hosted in the same web server as the HTML document, or stored on an external web server such as the cloud. We'll use the example for the external JavaScript, but separate JavaScript code in a different file. So first, we're going to create a new file called script.js. So let's go ahead and do that, which it looks like it already is there. And again, you see the code that was in the internal JavaScript that we used is now used separately. So what's going to happen here is all we did here was create a separate file. So we're going to create our JavaScript code in this file. And then what makes it external is because it's in a separate file. So internal's in the same document or the same code. External is basically we're going to call for it, right? So what's going to happen here is we're going to do the same thing, the same equation and all this code, but we don't want it in the HTML code. So what's going to happen when you look over here, this is going to be all external. So remember, you have your HTML, you have your header, you have the metadata in here, you have your title, which is external JavaScript. So you're going to see that in the tab. Then you have your header. Your header is going to be addition of 2 numbers, and the ID again is going to be that result in the p tag. And now what's going to happen is you're going to create a link to your script.js file. So here you see script source javascript.js script. So now what you're telling it is when this code gets ran, we want you to have this result here, but the information that you're going to be looking for is in this document. So we're going to pull the information that we want. We're going to pull the code from this document, and then we're going to display the results here. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to close it. And we're going to we're just going to double click it. So now you see the addition of 2 numbers. So now if we right click and check it again, you'll see the same thing. Your header, here's your header information. Your external JS is what you see here in the title. Okay, now we can close this header. And then in the body, because this is the body here, you have your header again, which is the addition of 2 numbers. You see that here. And then ID result, and then the ID equals, so the result is, and then it's saying 15. And the reason why it's getting that 15 is because when you call for this script.js file. So it's calling for that script.js file, and the script.js file runs that equation and says, this is the result. And then it says, okay. And because it's looking for the result, code here. I'll just move this down. And we'll go to script.js. We'll open with Pluma. So you can see, remember, there's a variable called let result equal x plus y. So it's looking in this document for the ID result. And remember, the result is that information. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Let me take this call. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. So we did that. Okay, so now how to verify internal external JavaScript. When pen testing a web application, it's important to check whether the website uses internal or external JavaScript. This can easily be verified by viewing the page's source code. To do this, open the page external test HTML located in the exercise folder and then select view page source. So let's go ahead and do what it says. So let's open up the external HTML, and then we'll right click and we'll view page source. All right, so now when we view the page source, the display of the HTML code rendered on the page inside the source code, any JavaScript written directly on the page will appear between the source tags without the source attribute. If you see a script tag with a source attribute, it indicates the page is loading external from a separate file. So remember, this is what I was just saying. When you know it's external when you see this source. Whenever you see it calling from a source calling to another file, that's a clear indication that it's going to be an external JavaScript file. Okay, so it says for practical example, let's visit the tryhackme.com in your browser and inspect the source code to identify how the website loads JavaScript internally and from external sources. So let's go ahead. We'll just go to tryhackme.com. I got a bone to pick. I don't know what you're looking at. I be wanting to play music, but I get copyright and all of that. And like I said, I really want the stream. I really want the stuff to be used in VOD. So let me know if y'all got any questions so far. Let me know what y'all are doing, what y'all working on. If y'all are just here, let me know in the chat. Let me know if I'm talking to myself. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, thumbstick. You're still live, yeah. I've only been live now for about an hour. Okay, it's not letting me load it, but so we don't need to worry about that. So I think we pretty much got it understood. Hey, Thumbs, like I said, don't worry about it. Joining late, man. Like, shoot, I started streaming late. I had Fortnite practice, and then from there, I just jumped on live, and then like I said, I was telling them I was also getting my summer camp stuff ready. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. So which type of JavaScript integration places code directly within the HTML document? We talked about that. That's internal. And then which method is better for reusing JavaScript across multiple pages? That would be external, because now you can have multiple sites call that script, versus internal, you have to put it in there. Okay, what's the name of the external JavaScript file that's being called by the external test.html? That would be external, oh man. What is the name of the external JavaScript file that's being called by external test? Hey, what's going on? Is that for the try hack me? Oh, yeah, it is. Are you referring to that? I don't know what you're referring to right now. I think I closed up the thing too early. Do 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 do. Yep. Yep, I closed it up too early. I got to reopen it to get the answer. Because that's external JS. That's not, yeah, that's a, oh no, here it is. What's it here? Oh, man. They blurred it out. Yeah, I got to open up the thing again. Start the machine. Long time, man. What's going on with you? David Fraley, what's going on with you? It's funny, I was just talking the other night, and Diera CCIE by 30 came on. I was like, man, it's like the old guard is coming back, uh, coming back to, I guess, rewrite the wrongs of of the last couple years. But then again, I guess you've kind of still been at it. I'm the one who kind of I kind of disappeared. Well, I didn't disappear off the face of the earth. I was building up the center and getting stuff going. Thumbstick, man. Listen, so look, while we're waiting for the load, look, I do it. It is the old guard, man. So 2019, and David, you could talk to it. Ty, you could talk to it too. Did I get my vehicle? No, I didn't get my vehicle inspected yet. I got to get tires and brakes and all of that, and then I got to get emissions. But but yeah, Dave, Ty, y'all could talk to it. In 2019, 2020, like I said, it was a bunch of us creating content, cybersecurity related content. So like I said, it was me, Diera, JB got a whole bunch of stuff on networking and cloud. You had you got Keep It Techie. He's still going. You got dang, I'm my what's his name? It's escaping me. But you had a lot of people, right? You had Ty Wilson, you had David, you had where's my boy Anonymous with the cloud? There were so many, like I said, there were so many of us, and then like around, like I said, 20, you know, but we were also some of the folks who were telling people like, you gotta you gotta do it the right way. And I guess it was the right message, but the wrong time because everybody was just looking to do, there it is, THM external.js. So we're going to copy that. Everybody was kind of looking to find ways to essentially get rich quick off of cybersecurity, and they had a bunch of people out here like on LinkedIn selling brain dumps. You had like snake oil salesmen. You had people who were like running all types of scams, especially during COVID. But the people wanted to believe that because it sounded like the better option, right? You got folks like us who are like, man, you got to grind it out for a little while, and you got to, make sure you know your stuff, and you know, do the work, do the hard work, struggle a little bit. And when you got someone else who's like, hey, look, if you take this boot camp and you take this brain dump, you'll get six figures in like 3 months, six figures in 6 months. And between that and wanting to do something else, like I said, getting burnt out, knowing I wanted to go into teaching, and just kind of just overall being tired of of that grind. um I can only speak for myself. Like I said, that's where I kind of backed away 2022, 2023, and I wanted to focus on building out a space and being the change that I want to see, because I want to be able to get more people um in tech and cybersecurity careers. Like I noticed from a while now, about years now, that you know, college isn't for everybody. Everybody's not going to be able to afford to go to college. College is so expensive. Like I said, I have a kid who's we're looking into college stuff now because they want to be a lawyer, and it is so freaking ridiculous and expensive for no damn reason. Um, but you're going to have people who, don't want to go to college or can't afford it. And I mean, I was one of those people who I guess was a little bit of both. I knew I didn't want to have to go to college and take a whole bunch of classes that I didn't that weren't, at least to me, meaningful. Um, and at the time, there weren't cybersecurity classes like that. It was all computer science. So it was like coding and C and all of that. So it was like I knew I didn't want to waste my money doing that. And again, I wanted to kind of focus on the stuff that was going to teach me the skills like immediately. So that's why I went the certification route. Glad you did get out of that grind. You definitely have a talent for teaching. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it. Hey, hey, I'm all right. How are you? Give me 1 second, y'all. How can I help you?
You want to spectrum?
No, that's okay. Sorry, got that. Somebody had just come in. Hey, what's going on, Maddox? You know what? I gotta do better. I gotta jump back into. Let them know that I guess I'm back into it. Hey, Thumbstick, man, listen, I actually had a conversation with the wife last night saying, yeah, I think it's about that time that we we look at probably bringing somebody in, because like I said, my daughter basically runs it when I'm not here, but like I said, somebody wants to go to college and go. Yeah, back to what I was saying. That's what yeah, man, like I said, I'm in. I got out of the grind, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And actually, I'm probably 1.5 feet in at this point. Because I mean, as much as we're growing, we still got a ways to go. So yeah, so like I said, it's just kind of been a slow process, but so because of that, got to pay the bills. All right, so abusing dialogue functions. It's 7:30 now. Make sure, because I did get a message that said I probably have to go pick something up. All right. Hey, look, Thumbstick, and that's what I was just saying, man. I was actually saying before you came on, I said the one thing that I like about what we're doing with the stream, man, is because y'all are, so open and honest about what y'all are working on or what y'all are dealing with or even struggling with. We can hold each other accountable. Like even me doing this stream, it allows us to hold each other accountable and keep each other updated and truly invest in what everybody's doing and cheer each other on. So all right, so abusing dialogue functions. How many more do we have? Actually, so 1, 2, 3. All right, so all right, cool. One of the main objectives of JavaScript is to provide dialog boxes for interaction with users to dynamically update content on web pages. JavaScript has built-in functions like alert, prompt, and confirm to facilitate this interaction. All right, so these functions allow developers to display messages, gather input, and obtain user confirmation. So again, remember, we talked about JavaScript being a language that allows you to interact. So by having basically having an alert is like having like a pop-up screen. Prompts is basically asking you to input information for the interaction, and then confirm is basically like when you do captchas, right? Where it's like, hey, confirm you're not a bot, and you click a checkbox or something like that. Okay, so the alert function displays a message with an OK, and it typically is used to convey information for warnings to users. For example, if you want to display, I'm telling you, it's just like I don't know what it is today. If you want to display hello THM, you would do alert and then hello THM. Try it out. So we're gonna open up a browser. Let's just minimize. Let's close the external test. Maddox, if you're still here, man, when I know you're in the big meeting, tell them I said hey, and I guess I'll be in touch. All right, so Control-Shift-I. Let's bring up our console, and then again, we're going to do alert. Come on, I don't want to update Chrome. We're going to do alert. and we're going to get our parentheses, and then we need to hit our quote. Close both out, and then we're going to just say hello THM, and then we'll hit enter, and you'll see you get your pop-up here. So essentially that's the same thing. That's essentially how cross-site scripting works. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but cross-site scripting is one of the oldie but goodie vulnerabilities in web applications. If you can get it to pop a message there, it could be vulnerable to JavaScript, and then there's a few other things you can do with that. I mean, not JavaScript, it might be vulnerable to cross-site scripting, and that would be reflective cross-site scripting. So it's not really that serious of a vulnerability if you can't do anything else with it besides just making it pop up. Like this is like basically like, oh, congratulations, it's like a cell phone type thing. All right, so let's clear our console. So now we're going to go into the prompt function. So the prompt is displaying a dialog box, and it returns when the user clicks OK and puts their information in there. All right, so if we just do that, we're going to type in name. So remember, we're creating a variable. And it actually, we'll just go ahead and tab autocomplete since it looks like someone had done it already. But we're giving it a variable of name, and the name, instead of actually giving it the name, the value, we're saying whatever they put in here will be stored into this name variable. And then it'll say alert, and then it'll give you the quote hello plus that name variable. Right, so now let's go ahead and we'll hit enter. So it's going to say, what's your name? We're going to call it please subscribe, and we'll hit enter. And now you see it says hello, please subscribe. So then we'll hit OK. But now if we run it again, said run it again. All right, let's clear the console again, whatever. But let's go ahead and again, name equals prompt. What is your name? So now when we hit enter, what is your name? We'll just say Alpha, hello Alpha. So yeah, so basically every time we run that prompt, that is what gets stored, and that's what gets answered. So that's prompt. Okay. And then lastly, we have confirm. So we'll go ahead and clear the console again. So again, this is going to display a dialog box, and it's going to have two buttons, whether it's like almost like a yes or a no, or this one in this case is going to be okay and cancel. So if the user returns true, it'll click OK, and false will be cancel. All right. So again, that's just saying confirm, and then we're going to do some parentheses, and then some quotation marks, and then we're just going to put, are you sure? All right. And now we're going to give it a colon to close it up. And now it'll say, are you sure? And you can say yes or no. We're not sure. So we're going to hit cancel. And then it returned false. Okay. So now, how do hackers exploit this, right? So again, I just talked about it, about cross-site scripting. But imagine receiving an email from a stranger with an attached HTML file. The file looks harmless, but when you open it, it contains JavaScript that disrupts your browsing experience. For example, the following code will show an alert box that read with the message hacked 3 times. Okay, so you see it here. HTML page, title says hacked. Let I equals 0. And then if it's less than 3, it's going to iterate until it gets to 3. So you're going to get 3 alerts that says hacked. On the desktop of the attached VM, create a file called invoice.html. So let's just close this, and now let's go into our exercise folder. And it looks like it was already created, so we'll just go ahead and go here. So actually, oh, that's why I said go to your desktop. So actually, let's go ahead and write it ourselves. Okay. So remember, we need to declare what type of document it is. I need to remember how to spell. So it's doc type HTML. Let's close that there. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to open up. Actually, we're going to say HTML. And again, I need to learn how to type. And let's just close it real quick. And then we're going to create another one here because I like to just have my brackets and then just kind of go in between it. So we'll just go back and then we'll say HTML. We'll say the language is English, and then we'll close that. Okay, and now we'll go into our header. So that'll be head here. And then let's just go ahead and close it. All right, and then we will open this here, and then we'll go the title. And then we'll call it hack. We'll just put it in all caps because we want our stuff to be different. All right, you can copy my homework, but make it look different. Okay, now we'll just go here, and then we need to go into the body. Whew. Wow. Thumbstick, I see what you said. 40%. Someone's going to be having some mandatory training. Somebody's going to be having some mandatory training. 40%? That's crazy. All right, so we have our body, and then in the body, we need to tab out. And then we need to go create our script tags. So we'll do script. And then, see, like I said, I like to do this because when I first started messing with coding, I kept forgetting to close my brackets. So, all right, so for let I, so again, we're telling I, actually, again, let's copy the homework, but make it look different. So instead of I, we'll do A, right? So let A equal 0, and then we're going to give it a semicolon, and then A equals, equals, A is less than 3. And then we're going to give it a colon. And then we're going to say A plus plus. And then we're going to give that, close that. And then we're going to open up a bracket here. And then in there, we're going to say, we're going to tab out again. And we're going to give, and then in there, we're going to say alert. Here's our JavaScript. So alert. I'm not going to say hacked because hackers aren't bad. We're going to say, please subscribe or get. All right. And then we'll parentheses in. Okay, we do that. Then we'll get our semicolon. And then we will back up here and we will close our tag. And then we have our script tag already closed. We have our body already closed. and then we have our HTML already closed. Okay, so now what's going to end up happening is, and actually let's come back here because it looks like I spaced out too many times. So what's going to happen here is we're going to save this onto our desktop, and we're going to call it please sub, and we're going to call it, and it's going to be an HTML file. So we'll hit enter, and now since we saved it as an HTML file, she hurt her foot. So now you'll see, just to double check, we're just to make sure that is good. We have the doc type, which is HTML. The language is English. It needs to have an equal sign here. So there we go. Okay, then we have our header. The title is called, again, copy my homework, but make it look different. Okay, so the title will be called please subscribe or else, and then we'll close out that header. And then the body, there's a script tag because it's an internal JavaScript. And then we'll say for let, we're creating a variable called a. Right now a equals 0. And but then we're going to say for the next 3 times, we want you to iterate a. Okay. And that is this alert. Okay. All right. We closed out here. We have our semicolons. Okay. So we'll save that. It should be on our desktop. So let's minimize, and then we'll hit please sub. Please subscribe or get hacked. Okay. Please subscribe or get hacked. That's 2. Please subscribe or get hacked. That's 3. And then we have our header here that says please subscribe or else. And again, up here, please sub HTML. Okay. So there is our custom JavaScript. Okay. In the invoice HTML. So now we have to answer some questions. So let's go ahead into our exercise. We'll just say 3. Oh, it didn't say it 3 times. Oh, see, I tried to do it without actually looking at it. But we'll open up in Pluma. So answer is actually 5. Which of the JavaScript interactive elements should be used to display dialog box that asks for input? And that would be prompt. And then if a user enters Tesla, what value is stored under the car name prompt in the car name variable? If the user enters Tesla, what value is stored in the car name equals prompt? What's your car name in the car name variable? Tesla. Even though we don't buy, I'm not going to say that. Let me not start no trouble. All right, so we have finished that. So now we're going to bypass flow statements. So control flow refers to, 1 second, guys. All right. Okay, so we're an hour and a half in. All right, let's see. So control flow in JavaScript refers to the order in which statements and code blocks are executed based on certain conditions. JavaScript provides several control flow structures such as if-else statements and switch statements to make decisions. And they also have loops like for and while and do while. reported that user. Did I miss something? Oh, man, look, I get those like every time I go on stream. Every day. Every day I get this. I get anytime I go on stream. Best viewers, right? And then like stream remove the space. Like, I don't know. Yes, but thank you. All right, so irks. You know what grinds my gears. Maybe when people like they come in and like they go into the window and they're doing all of this. It's like, dude, just open the door. Like, I'm not gonna bite. I'm not scary. I mean, I could be, but at least not when I'm doing business. All right. So, and do while to repeat actions, proper use of control flow, and ensures that a program can handle various conditions effectively. So, conditional statements, one of the most used conditional statements are if else, which allows you to execute different blocks of code depending on whether the condition equals true or false. To test this practically, let's create a file called age.html. So let's move this over here. And again, let's just do this quickly. Doc type HTML. Again, HTML, learn how to type. And then let's also have our closing tag, HTML. Let's close this out. And not herad, not heard. Okay, let's start here. Oh, actually, this is wrong. That needs to close immediately. Okay, so title. In the middle, we're going to call this, and we'll just call it age. Okay, then we have our header, we have our body, and then in here, we're going to create our h1 tag. Call it again, age. We're going to close our h1 tag, and then we're going to create a paragraph tag. So that's going to be P. And then in there, it's going to say the ID because we're making an ID. We're making a variable called ID, and that equals a message. We'll close that, and then we'll close our paragraph tag. Okay, and now let's space it out. We'll have our script tags. Let's close our script tag as well. Okay, now let's get in the center of it. So age equals prompt. Grow up, Davin. How old are you? Close that out. Now we'll go ahead and say if the age that we just created, actually we need to put in parentheses, so if the age variable that we just created is greater than or equal to 18, we'll then create a bracket. We'll space it out. We're going to document get element, ouch, by ID, which is message dot enter HTML equals you're old. All right, and now we will back up. And then we need to create an else statement. So else, another bracket, space out. Document ID. We're just going to copy all of that. And then we're going to put you're a baby. Okay. And then we will close our brackets. So that matches, that matches. Okay, that matches. Our scripts match. We have our body, and then we have our HTML. Okay, so we should be able to now save this. And we're going to call it age.html. I'm going to save it to the desktop. Hit save. Okay, let's just double check everything. And I immediately noticed that I did dash instead of equals, so that's not going to go right. Oh, you can't do that. That's right. We got to do that. Okay. So what happened was I did, instead of I did a sync. I misspelled it, so that's fine. Okay, but we're good now. We're good. It looks like everything is good. So we're gonna say if you're 18 and up, you're old, and then if you're under, you're young or you're a baby. Okay. Actually, we're gonna say HTML. We have to declare the language equals English, and then we'll close that out. All right, so now I think we're good. So let's go ahead and save it, close it, minimize. And now when we go here, hey, how old are you? 42. You're old. Ha. Okay, and then just to make sure, hey, how old are you? 15. You're a baby. All right, so that's how the if-else statements work. Okay, we'll just open with Plume again. So just to give you a quick rundown, again, we have a message. We created a message thing. Well, we gave a variable, the ID equals the message. And then we also gave a variable of age, and the age, it was going to ask a prompt, which is how old are you? And then we tell it, we give it an if statement of if we're older than 18, then you can pop this in the message that says you're old, which is here, and the body, again, is calling here. If not, if you're younger than 18, then go here again, they get element by ID. This is ID. And then it's going to give this message that says you're a baby. All right. We can run it again just so you can see how old are you. We'll give it the say 18, and then we'll give it the side by side. So here you can see the code here, or we could actually just do inspect element if you want to see that. And we can just open up everything so you can see what we put in here. And again, this is internal JavaScript because we put it in the HTML script. If we had more time, I would actually switch it to external, since again we don't want to copy everybody's homework. All right, so we did all of that. Bypassing login forms. Suppose a developer has implemented authentication functionality in JavaScript where only users with the username admin and passwords matching a specific value are allowed to log in. So it says we're going to open the login.html. So we're going to go into exercise. And all right, we're going to go ahead and hit login.html. It says enter your username. Okay, so it says admin, enter your password. Let's just say admin. Authentication failed, incorrect username or password. So what is the username and password? Well, it's hard coded into the script. So if you inspect element or you view the source code, let username equal prompt, enter your username. Let password equal to prompt, enter your password. If username equals admin and password equals complex password, then write you successfully authenticated. If not, say authentication failed, wrong, incorrect username or password. Now they got this right, incorrect username or password, rather than letting you know if it was an incorrect username or incorrect password, because that would be information. That would be an information disclosure. But believe it or not, there are situations where the vulnerabilities, where they hard code it into their applications. And if you look through the source code, you'll see, oh, they have a password or an API key or something. Yeah, thumbstick, like it'd be like, I'll be sitting here and then I just see and again, it's not even like they're quiet about it. So you just be sitting here like doom, because like it's like they headbutt the window. And then it's like they're in there and they're doing this and they're breathing in it. I'm like, y'all just come in. Say hello. Right. And it's like, and then as soon as I turn my head and like we make eye contact, they're like, ah. My wife is a chiropractor. It gets weird, looks through her window all the time. Man, look. All right. All right. Oh, so let's just do this real quick. So we know. So let's refresh. So now we know that the username is password and the password is complex password, and we successfully authenticated. What's the password? That complex password. So like I said, so this is an actual vulnerability. Hard coded passwords or hard coded credentials are common in applications. All right, so I said it right the first time. Minified files. It just sounded weird. So minified files basically is it makes it hard. It makes it unreadable, right? So most stuff, as you can see, the code here is human readable. Minified files compresses the JavaScript file and makes it look unreadable. Okay, so minification is the JavaScript process of compressing JavaScript files by removing all unnecessary characters such as spaces, line breaks, comments, and even shortening variable names. This helps reduce the file size and improve the loading time of web pages, especially in production environments. Minified files make the code more compact and harder to read for humans, but they still function exactly the same. Cheap viewers on Stream Boo, remove the space. See? Hey, appreciate you, Thumbstick. Have a good night. Like I said, when I'm done here, we're actually gonna raid. Let me see if my boy is on. Let me see. Let me see if Blurred is on. Is Blurred on? No, Blurred ain't on. I think schedule. I want to say he said his new schedule was. Yeah. No, he should be on in a little bit. Well, if he's on, then we'll. All right. Hey, Thumbstick, like I said, I'll holler at you. I'll probably be on tomorrow. Okay, so similar to minification, if that is that a word? Uh, Obfuscation is used to make JavaScript harder to understand by adding undesired code, renaming variables and functions to meaningless names, and even inserting dummy code. So let's go ahead and open up hello.html. We're running short on time, so I'm not going to write out this code. So we're just going to say hello.html. And then you see it says the title's obfuscated JS code. The title's obfuscated JS code, and it's an external source. So there is a hello.js, right? So now if we open that here, I'm confused. Oh, so it was already out. They already obfuscated it. Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and de-obfuscate it. Let's go ahead and de-obfuscate that. All right. So we're going to share this tab. We're just moving back. We're just going to move backwards. So it was already obfuscated. So we got to de-obfuscate it. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and paste this. So as you can see, I want to de-obfuscate it though. So the output, you should be able to de-obfuscate it, can't you? No, then I just obfuscated the obfuscated file. I don't want to do that. I want to de-obfuscate it. Since you want to be difficult, we'll just share this tab and we'll just come over here. And now your code looks like it's been obfuscated using, oh, geez. And I put the wrong thing. Oh, sorry. Let's go back. Hey, no problem, man. I got to start streaming again and get on the alpha raid. Hey, yeah, absolutely, man. If you start streaming, let me know. I appreciate you, Ty. Let me see. I'm going to go back over to here. And now let's deobfuscate. Wait, what? Oh, wait, did I? No, because I pulled it from, where did I pull it from? All right, let's come back here. Let's copy. Let's come back over here. Let's delete, and let's paste, and let's deobfuscate. Why are you being difficult? All I want to do whatever. Okay, fine. I can't deobfuscate it. Whatever. So we won't. Okay, yep. Zay just hopped on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and oh no, I did do it. I did do it, didn't I? Hello.js. We can also deobfuscate, visit the website, then paste the obfuscated code. Right? I just did that. So and then so I did do that. I did do that. Go here. Let's paste, hit deobfuscate. All right. All right. So we went here. We deobfuscated, right? And I got to get back. I got to get better at sharing the thing. So if we go to what is it? Line. Okay, there's a function called hi. Okay, so we need to find, so we have to find the we found the function called hi. And then we need to deobfuscate that. So let's take this, copy, paste. Actually, no. Stop it. Paste, come up here, and then it said function hi. We'll grab all of this here, and then hit deobfuscate. Yeah, what are we talking about? To generate human readable, you can make it easy to understand and understand. What are we talking? Why is it not working? Function. It's not working for me, y'all. It's not working. We were running so smooth too. Put up a link for buy you. Hey, so actually, Ty, if you scan the QR code, you can also buy me a coffee. But if you want to, I can put the link in the chat. Let me do that now. Like, I'm not. Where are my links at? Whatever. It is buymeacoffee.com/djax_alpha. There you go. If you would like to buy me a coffee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/djax_alpha. Yeah, I'm trying to. So anyway, let me see. Did I? I'm trying to figure out why it won't. Go to the website, paste obfuscated code in the provider box. The website will generate an equivalent human readable, but it's not though. That's the part that's killing me right now, is that it is not. You are not doing that, sir or ma'am. Paste. Oops. You are not cooperating. Paste. Oh, come on. Copy. Now you don't even want to. All right. All right. All right. All right. Copy. Paste. Paste. Deobfuscate. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know why it's not working, but like this is truly wild that it's not working. Okay. Like I said, maybe I did something. No. Then paste obfuscated code into the provided dialog box, and the website will generate the equivalent human readable JS code for you, making it easier. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why it's not working, but all right. And now what is the age in the variable in here? So let's try to move that. Let's go over here. Deobfuscate, age equals 21. So that worked. I don't know. I don't know why that code didn't work. I should have followed. You know what? We should have just went through the exercise completely and not used their code. All right. Best practices. So when writing JavaScript, you want to make sure you follow best practices. So first, you want to make sure you avoid relying on client-side validation only. One of JavaScript's primary functions is performing client-side validation. Developers sometimes use it for validating forms and rely entirely on it, which is not good practice. Since a user can disable or manipulate JavaScript on the client side, performing validation on the server side is also essential. So again, you don't want to, basically what's happening here is you don't want the client to validate. You don't want to trust them. It sounds mean, but you don't want to trust them to always do the right thing. That's why we have the issues that we have with malicious attackers now. So you never want to just trust them. So you want to make sure that your server side or the back end is also performing the validation. You also want to make sure that, you're sanitizing your inputs and things like that to make sure that they can't try to trigger the JavaScript to interact with the sites. You don't want to do that either. Okay, I think we're done with the machine. Okay. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're not using libraries that aren't trusted. So JavaScript allows you to use any other JavaScript using that source attribute. So remember when we talked about the external JavaScript, you can reference another source. You want to make sure that the library is a trusted source. You want to make sure that the library, you want to review the library, or you want to review that source to make sure that there's nothing malicious in there. So you want to make sure you're using trusted libraries, and if you're not sure, verify it first. Don't just go ahead and throw any JavaScript or any script or any code for that matter in your stuff willy-nilly and not know what you're doing. You're going to run into a whole lot of issues. Lastly, you don't want to put hard-coded secrets or hard-coded sensitive information in your code, right? So we talked about that earlier with the one that was like the password had to equal that complex password. That's a hard-coded secret. That's a hard-coded key. Like I said, you want to make sure you avoid using that. You want to, like, things like API tokens or credentials, do not put that in your code. Don't put it in any code. Do not hard code it anywhere. Someone's always going to look. Okay? So just be careful with that. Oh, geez. So, lastly, you want to make sure you minify and obfuscate your JavaScript code. Okay, like I said, it improves your load time, it reduces it, but most importantly, it makes it harder for people to try to understand what's happening. As you can see, I couldn't even deobfuscate it properly. So you always want to make sure you're minifying and obfuscating your code when it's in production, right? Attackers can eventually reverse engineer it and figure out what's going on, but let them work for it. Okay. Is it a good practice to blindly include JavaScript in your code from any source? Nay. And then our conclusion, congratulations on completing JavaScript Essentials. We've covered important topics. We explored how to minify. So let us know on Discord and X. We'll just hit complete. And we have completed JavaScript. Yay. Woohoo. I'm not sharing it. So now the next room is SQL fundamentals. I'm not going to do that because it is almost 8:30. We are 2 hours in, and yeah, we'll cover SQL tomorrow. So let's see what we have left. I know I said we would try to go through it, but I be yapping. So blame that on me. Blame that on me, y'all. So okay, so we did the pre-security. So cybersecurity 101. We are here at web hacking. So we have SQL fundamentals, and then we have Burp Suite, and then we have the OWASP top 10 from 2021. Okay. So most of this stuff is kind of self-explanatory. So let's see what we can get done tomorrow. Like I said, I want to kind of get ahead. I want to get it. We're making good. We're making good pacing right now with what I want to do. But like I said, I want to make sure we do web hacking, and then I also want to do offensive security tooling, and then we're gonna jump. And then we're gonna jump into junior pen tester. And like I said, most of the stuff we've already covered, so we're gonna kind of breeze through that once we do. Right, because you can see here, actually, we didn't, but we're going to. We're going to cover pretty much all this stuff here. We're going to cover the pen testing fundamentals. We're going to cover principle, and then we're going to learn about the web hacking. So we're going to pay special attention to this here. We're going to do the Burp Suite stuff anyway when we get into the web, that other section. So that'll be covered, and then we'll look at active and passive reconnaissance. We'll get into the Nmap stuff. We'll cover that, and then I think that'll cover that, and then we'll jump into the web path, where we get to mess with enumeration and brute force session management, JSON web token security, OAuth vulnerabilities, multi-factor authentication, and then there's left with a hammer room. Then there's different injection attacks. We're going to then do the server attacks, advanced client side. So we're going to cover all of that stuff, and then we're going to go look in the security engineer path, cover some stuff over there, and then we'll jump deeper down the rabbit hole with the other list of challenges that I have. So we're making progress, but we also want to make sure we're moving. So we'll go ahead and stop sharing that. So like I said, we are done for tonight, though. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Again, everybody who was here, Ty, Thumbstick, Maddox, thanks for stopping in. Even the bots who were trying to fish us. Shout out to everybody for the support. Lewis, you know what it is, bro. So again, shout out to everybody who support us. Shout out to the supporters. Shout out to everybody who support us, for real. So, we are going to see about rating my brother Zay, the Blurred Gamer. He's enjoying some Marvel Rivals. So let's see if we can go over there and show him some love. Nah, I don't want to. Let's share my screen for a second. Go over here. See
Moon Knight, Namor, The Thing, and I'm working on learning Spider-Man and
All right, so let's see here. We're gonna just open
what?
Here. All right, so like I said, we are closing up shop tonight. I'm actually about to close up shop, listening to myself, which is crazy. So again, if anybody is interested in support, like I said, just giving us a like, follow, and subscribe is definitely one way. If you want to
Yeah, I
my
usually
body,
play
also,
tank and
you can
duelist,
also do
man.
that as well. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all. I can't find my. I'm looking for my. I'm in my. Here we go.
Damn, I didn't even see her. That cloak and dagger.
There we go. All right, y'all.
Yeah,
Y'all be
yeah,
safe.
yeah. I'm
I'll
gold
holler
3
at
right
y'all.
now. I'm gonna be on some rank
Take it
tonight,
easy.
man. We're gonna have to link
Be
up and play,
safe.
bro.
All right, so we're gonna be rating over. Like I said, I know most of us are watching on YouTube anyway, but if you're on Twitch, go ahead and enjoy Zay the Blurred Gamer, and y'all be safe. Take it easy.
Fuck. 10 and 5.